Good morning. Today I'm going to be doing like a weekend vlog. We are going hiking today to Tai Long Wan, and this is quite a famous hike in Hong Kong, but it's all the way in Sai Kung, and I'm over on the Hong Kong island side, so we need to get to Sai Kung first. So right now I am at Quarry Bay Station, headed across the island over to Hang Hao Station, where I'll take a bus over to Sai Kung, and then from there we'll kind of keep navigating our way until we get to the start of the track. So right now we're here and we're going to take the MTR all the way to this station, Hang Hao there, and then from there we're going to take a bus up to Sai Kung. Just arrived in Sai Kung. I'm gonna go grab some food first because the hike's like 4 hours-ish, and if not, I might like starve. So I'm in Sai Kung right now, and Sai Kung's usually the place where we can also get on junks as well. So junks are like something we do usually more during the summer months, but Sai Kung Pier will be one of the pickup stops as well. And then we need to head off to catch the 94 bus that will go to Park Tam Ao, and there, like, that's where we'll start the hike. So now I'm headed to line up for the 94 bus, which I think is this one. It's super, wow, it's a long queue. And then this will take around like half an hour to the Park Tam Ao starting point, and then we will reverse it from, like, we're doing it the reverse, so it's like we're doing it from we're doing it backwards so that we end up on the beach, and then we can chill in the beach in the afternoon. So we got off the bus, well, I got off, and then we're going to be doing this Maclehose Trail Stage 2, and it heads off this way, and we should end up on the beach, and I think it's supposed to be like 4 hours, so 4 hours, then we can have some food and lunch there. We're hoping to chill by the beach, but it will be a bit cold. One tip is just to be careful and not get off at the Park Tam Ao management side, because that's actually one stop off, and it's one stop too early, so you want to get off like the next stop after, and then kind of, if you're doing the trail 2 stage 2 one that we're doing as well, just walk a bit ahead, like maybe 200 meters, and then to your right, and then that's where it starts here. So we are starting the hike now. It's supposed to be 4 hours, and they say it's like a moderate to difficult hike, so let's see. So this is Tai Long Wan. We are probably only an hour and a half into like the 4-hour hike. Apparently, like, we still have to go across there. So here we have the choice of like stopping by for food. If not, we can keep going and eat on the other side. Now it's our turn to cross this thing. Ah. Hi. Whoa, it's really shaky. But I guess the downside is that it's not that, but it's very shaky. Oh my god. Ah! Whoa. Whoa. So now we have to start this part. Good luck to myself. This will be fun. So this is the first time that I'm actually doing this hike. I've been here for like 4.5 years, never actually done it. She's done it twice.
This is my second time at the rock pools, but my third time going to Big Wave Bay, which was where we were.
In like just less than a year as well.
A year and a half.
So Sarah used to actually live in Shanghai, and we're both from Melbourne, so we're high school friends from Melbourne. She was in Shanghai before this. She's been in Hong Kong for about a year-ish now. Where do you actually prefer?
Where do I prefer?
Like between Australia, Melbourne, Shanghai, and here, like how have you found life in Hong Kong so far?
Okay, that's a big question. I mean, for right now, definitely Hong Kong. I really love Shanghai as well. I think it's a really interesting city, and it's changing so quickly, and it's kind of chaotic, and you never really know what to expect. But sometimes it's just a bit too chaotic, whereas Hong Kong's more predictable, and you kind of know what you're gonna get. I think in Shanghai it's kind of a love-hate relationship with the city, because some days it's like really, really amazing, and you're just cycling in the French concession and the trees are beautiful, and then like the next day you step in dog shit because there's no lighting on the street or something.
There's no what?
Because some of the streets are really badly lit.
Oh, okay.
And then you feel really sad. I think I was back in Melbourne recently for our friend Joey's wedding, and every time I go back I really love it there, but I think for right now I prefer to be somewhere more dynamic and less sleepy.
Yeah, I think so. I think like definitely when you're younger, or especially because we kind of grew up in Melbourne as well, I guess you're used to your surroundings, and you're so used to that pace and way of life that it can be good to kind of break it up and then go overseas, travel, work a bit, and kind of put yourself in maybe more stressful environments. I mean, it's kind of known that Hong Kong is like one of the most stressful environments, and you guys in design just do such crazy hours
really
as well.
Hours.
So, I mean, between the work life, I mean, obviously Australia is going to win on work-life balance.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Yeah, compared to Shanghai.
But I think in Asia you probably get a lot more opportunities. Like there's more construction happening in Asia in general, just because it's not as well developed as Australia. So I think the type and like the scale of projects you can work on here is really different. And I think just being in a new environment is always so challenging, and it's how you grow. Whereas when I was in Australia, I just wanted to get a dog, and like every morning I'd wake up at 6 and water my plants and watch them grow. So
watch them grow? How long did you watch them grow for? Did you sit there and watch them for like 15 minutes? Hey, have you grown yet?
No, I'd water them, and then I'd just kind of like stare at my peas and...
Your peas?
Yeah, I was growing peas and like basil and I don't know, different herbs and things.
Yeah.
So it was a really different lifestyle.
What are the kind of challenges that you think, or what kind of mentality or maybe tips do you have for people that want to try working in Shanghai versus Hong Kong? Like maybe like cultural influences or like just considerations.
Okay. I think in general Shanghai is a little bit more chill than Hong Kong, but they're both quite fast-paced cities and you have to work really hard. I think having like some knowledge of Chinese can be really beneficial. Culturally, I think just to be really open-minded. Oh, and firstly, when you move to any new country, like, don't expect it to be all fun and really easy. Like, expect it to be really hard and challenging, because usually it is.
Challenging? Like, what's hard and challenging about it?
I think, well, especially if you move by yourself, like we both did.
Yeah.
Just even getting used to how banking is done, or like how really basic admin things are done, or like where to buy your groceries, or like buy household things. Like in China, everything's online and it's all on Taobao. And when I first got there, I didn't have WeChat Pay or Alipay, and I couldn't find like the supermarket to buy a mop. So just like really basic things you wouldn't expect are really hard.
Yeah.
I think work-wise, just like being really open-minded, because people from different cultures work really differently and communicate really differently. So you can't expect everyone to be exactly the same as you.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. Did you have a similar experience?
Like find it challenging?
Yeah. Yeah, when you first moved.
I don't know if I didn't think I found it challenging. Like,
maybe Hong Kong's less challenging? I don't know.
I guess so. Like, it's just, I mean, maybe because also, like, you know, because before I ever officially moved here, like, I'd always kind of come, so I was kind of familiar with the place. And I think Hong Kong, like, one of the perks is that it's so convenient and you can find everything literally, like, downstairs within a 200-meter radius.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it easy. And I think, generally speaking, like, because it's such an efficient city, like, you will get the answers somewhere or someone. And also maybe because there are so many expats here that need to also always be setting up bank accounts or like renting places and stuff, that also means that that kind of source of information is also readily available. And also maybe, I'm not sure compared to Shanghai, but I guess that there's a lot of English contributions to the source gathering. Like
English contribution.
Yeah, like there's just a lot of English material going around,
Yeah.
whereas maybe in Shanghai, like a lot of it might have only been in Chinese, so
Yeah.
harder. And like I remember how you guys have like different hospitals or doctors for foreigners, whereas I think in Hong Kong it's pretty standard, like you can walk into any kind of GP and they will look after you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, yeah, one of the huge differences between Hong Kong and Shanghai is everything here is readily available in English. So when you go and do your banking, people can speak English and understand what you're saying, whereas in China it's very different. So yeah, I think Hong Kong's definitely easier to adjust to and to adapt to, whereas China's very challenging. But you'll be rewarded. You'll be rewarded for pushing through the challenge, because it is a really vibrant and fun city once you get used to it.
Yeah.
Didn't you also consider Shanghai as well before you moved to Hong Kong?
Yes, so when I was leaving London, I considered 3 places, so Singapore, Shanghai, Hong Kong. Hong Kong was just, I guess, easier because I knew people from here. I knew people from Hong Kong already, and like I'd kind of grown up here for a bit, so it was just a bit easier. Singapore, I guess, because it feels similar to Malaysia in terms of like culture and everything, and also like language-wise, it would be easy, so that was a consideration as well. Shanghai was one kind of for the same reasons, and I think at the end of the day, like the choice just came down to which one was going to be easier, maybe easier to just kind of fit in. So Hong Kong just made it was the easiest kind of choice, I think. But yeah.
Easy in what way?
Like easy because I already knew the place, I already probably had more friends here. And I think because I was still in marketing back then, most of the time in Hong Kong, the markets look after APAC coverage, whereas like in China, it's just on the China coverage. And ultimately, like because I don't have such a strong background in the China market, like my knowledge might be better in a more broader kind of remit. So I think those were the kind of considerations, but yeah, it's been nearly 4.5 years. It's been awesome. It's been really fun. And I think like one of the best perks is that like Hong Kong is very easy to travel to anywhere, and it's just so convenient. And like when you're back in Australia, anywhere is like 9 hours
so
away.
Far away.
So it's just like such a bonus, and because we get so many public holidays as well, it's just, yeah.
Okay, so what, I have 2 questions. The first one is, one of the highlights of your time in Hong Kong, and the second one is like highlight travel wise during your time here.
So, general highlight?
Yeah, anything. It can be anything. Any like experience or...
General highlight, probably the fact that Hong Kong is a melting pot. It's so amazing that it's like a transit city, really. Like, people come and go. It's good because you also see people all the time. Like, when I was living in London, it was a bit harder because it's a bit further away, and I wouldn't see my friends and family as much. But because Hong Kong is so like kind of central, I get to see people all the time. But just in terms of like meeting new people, like kind of meeting people from like all walks of life, like from Colombia, from like Brazil, that kind of thing, and everyone just kind of gets on really well. Everyone's pretty open when it's like making new friends, and it's quite an open community. So that would be the highlight of Hong Kong. Like, it's a melting pot, and you really get to integrate with like the rest of the world. Highlight travel wise, I think that's hard, because we've had like a lot of good adventures. Yeah, we've done so many like good adventures. I think the highlight is still the panda one.
Okay.
Because I love the pandas, and I love that there are YouTube live streams dedicated to just watching them.
Really?
Yeah, like you can just watch the pandas on YouTube. There's some channels, and you just watch them like do their stuff all day, and sometimes it's just so nice just watching them just eat, chill, shit.
So when you don't want to hang out with me, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just like in love with these pandas. So I think that trip was really good because we got to get so close to them and feed them and stuff. It was a bit sad that we didn't get to get pictures with them.
Yeah, I wanted to cuddle one.
Yeah, so that was really sad. What's your highlight of Hong Kong and your highlight in traveling? How was Huangshan?
Huangshan? Oh, Huangshan was really nice. I went there with Amy and Wongi, some of our friends from Melbourne, and it was really beautiful. Like, we watched the sunrise and the sunset, and it was stunning. The only thing with China is there's always a lot of people, so it's yeah, there's just lots of crowds everywhere, so you kind of have to work out how you can avoid them. Highlight of Hong Kong, I really love how easy it is to access like beaches and hiking and mountains here. Like, a lot of people say, oh, but we have that in Melbourne, but in Melbourne you also need a car to go to all of these places, whereas in Hong Kong you just catch the MTR or the bus, or it's just really, really easy to access. So on a weekend you can like go for a hike really easily, like what we did today, and you feel so removed from the city.
Yeah, like it's a good break.
Yeah,
just being in nature. Yeah,
just to like refresh yourself for
Yeah.
the next work week, which will be crazy. But another thing is just transport is so easy and so convenient in Hong Kong, and I love it, and it's my biggest frustration when I go back to Melbourne.
Yeah,
Just
agreed with that.
waiting 20 minutes for the next train.
Exactly, and that's like peak hour.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, peak hour, 15 minutes. Okay, great.
Yeah. If I have to wait 5 minutes here, I get really frustrated.
Yeah. If you had to move to another country, where would it be?
Where would it be? Oh, that's really hard. For work or?
Anything.
I don't know. That's a really hard question to answer. Like, if it were like a fantasy question, maybe I'd move to Japan because I love Japanese food, and it's just so beautiful, and there's so much really amazing art, and everyone's so stylish. But I wouldn't be able to find a job there because I don't speak Japanese. I think work-wise, I don't know if I have that many choices. Like, maybe I'd go to London, but London's really cold.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want to stay here. It's so
Yeah.
nice. Where would you go?
I think I would want to give New York a try again. Like, I mean, If I had to, yeah. If I had to pick another place, I would maybe pick New York again. It's quite fun and a big city as well. But I think, yeah, like most of the cities have been quite fun, like London, Hong Kong. They're all different, but I think, yeah, like Hong Kong, you're really in the center of the action. The only downside is that it can just get crazy humid and sweaty during summer, but other than that, it's quite fun.
Yeah. And so many cockroaches.
Yes, I hate that. Oh my god. I mean, sounds like you're enjoying your time here.
Yeah, I love it.
And
here.
it sounds like you'll be here for a while.
Maybe. The plan is to stay here for a while. I really don't want to leave.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I thought about New York as well because one of my friends just moved there.
Yeah.
And she's also a designer and she found a company to sponsor her. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna visit her next maybe October and just see what it's like. But I've never been before.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah. What did you like and like what? I don't know. Tell me about New York because I've never been there before, so I don't know anything about it.
New York was, I think it's similar to Hong Kong in the sense that like it's also a big city. Subway is comparable to Hong Kong, but Hong Kong
say
is
that
a lot.
with a bit of hesitation.
Hong Kong's one is a lot cleaner.
Okay.
Definitely.
I've
But
heard
it's
there are
al-
lots of rats.
Yes, but it's also like an older system. But I think, yeah, it kind of just depends. Like New York has its kind of charm as well. The snow is so nice and fluffy in winter. So it has its different charm. What would your tips be on like how to make a decision between moving from like to Australia, Shanghai or Hong Kong?
I think it depends on how much you want to be challenged. I think if you're looking for something that's very easy on the Western palate and maybe just more comfortable and predictable and you know you're going to be able to get the support that you need, then come to Hong Kong. I think if you're more adventurous and you're looking to really be challenged and to be pushed completely out of your comfort zone, then try Shanghai. But I think they're both really amazing cities and you just have to just be open-minded and just, you know, I didn't go to Shanghai expecting to like it, but it really grew on me and you kind of find aspects that you really love and enjoy, and yeah, I think you can really learn to love any place that you spend time in. I think it's always good to have some contacts before you move somewhere, so I would actually try to get myself into a WeChat group ASAP. So there are different ones for expats, like Girls Gone International is one for women who live overseas. No, but it's really good. Anyway, no, there are different. So there's like the general group, and then there's like the food group and like the beauty group. So whenever you need anything, like you want a restaurant recommendation, or like you don't know where to buy your groceries from, or if you like,
Doctors.
I don't know, yeah, doctors, dentists, any basic questions like that, you just ask the group and like someone will be able to help you. So I think like trying to establish that support network early on is important.
Yeah, we have those kind of groups as well. It's like Hong Kong moms. I'm in that group. And then like Hong Kong expats, those kind of things. Yeah,
there's one Hong Kong group called Hong Kong Snakes, and it's a really awesome.
Snakes, what's it about?
It's just this isn't really related to networking or anything, but there's this really awesome group called Hong Kong Snakes, and people, when they go on hikes, they might like see a snake and take a picture of it, and then people help you identify the snake, and it's a really like cute community.
Yeah. Okay. Beneficial. Good for hiking.
Yeah. So if you're interested in snakes and there are various animals that come up on. I mean, there's a lot of wild boars in Hong Kong as well. So
we saw some cows as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing I want to say is that maybe market-wise it doesn't matter I'm not sure if it might not matter as much for design industry, right? But I think like coming from a marketing background and everything, I think you also, whether or not you choose between going to like China or like Hong Kong or maybe Singapore, also depends on like what market you want to work on, because sometimes you just like, especially when marketing kind of careers are very focused on like where your expertise is or knowledge is of a market, you just want to make sure that you don't kind of put yourself in a market for too long that you don't ultimately want to be in long term.
Always have your long-term goals in mind as well.
All that talking has made us kind of hungry, so now we're gonna head back to the beach and look for some of the food stalls just by the beach there, have something to eat, and then just continue the hike. I think we still have a bit to hike, right?
No, we can get a boat back to Sai Kung straight from the beach instead of hiking.
Ah, okay. Okay, that's fair. So now we are at Tai Long Wan Beach, and there's some cows just chilling here, but that's pretty cool. And this is where we are gonna grab some food. And instead of kind of hiking back, we're going to be taking the boat back. So we buy tickets here because we're gonna be catching the speedboat back to Sai Kung Pier. And in the meantime, we can go grab something to eat. So now it is around 4:30 and we're headed on the boat it's going to be a speedboat to head back to Sai Kung Pier, and then this kind of basically saves us from having to actually hike it. So this wraps up the weekend vlog. Hope you enjoyed our chat about the differences of living in Hong Kong, Shanghai, versus Australia, and things to consider when you're thinking about moving to a new country or city. Living and working in a new city that you're totally unfamiliar with can be very challenging, especially emotionally, but it really provides you with a great learning experience and allows you to push through to new boundaries. If you'd love to have more vlogs discussing various topics, do leave a comment below, and remember to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye!